A former Donald Trump apprentice and White House insider is sounding the alarm about the mental acuity of her former hero and mentor, and I have her very specific eyewitness account coming up next. You may remember Omarosa as the cold and cunning villain on Trump's game shows Apprentice and Celebrity Apprentice, and even if you didn't watch the shows, you probably heard of her. Just the word Omarosa, or at least that moment in time, reached that rare single-name summit occupied by others like Shakespeare, Madonna, and Spam. And like Shakespeare, she was theatrical and had a way with words, and she used them to cut like a knife and appeal to Trump's dark side.
I wanted to be like him.
And he eventually rewarded her being a version of him with a White House staff position. But with Trump, his relationships always turn out like his interviews. They go south in a hurry. And the cozy cabal he once had with Omarosa eventually crashed and burned, and now she's spilling the beans on what she saw while she was in his circle of trust, and I have her alarming words about his condition in just a few seconds. But first, let's revisit this piece by CNN to remind you who she is and the Trump axe she has to grind. And here's what's interesting. The years-old video paints an unflattering image of her, and I agree with that, but it also shows that she was way ahead of the curve in calling Trump a word that has since become ubiquitous. Have a look and listen for yourself.
No more nodding at the president's words, no more smiling alongside him. Omarosa is on the attack with Unhinged. When she left the White House, she warned us.
It is a profound story that I know the world will want to hear.
Profound wasn't how the publisher described it. Stunning tell-all and takedown. Explosive, jaw-dropping.
She said she has a story to tell, and I'm sure she'll be selling that story.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, she will. Bye, Felicia.
She sold it for under $1 million, a source tells CNN. As for the title, it's a word Omarosa once used about a fellow contestant.
Shannon's losing it. You know, she's just completely unhinged.
Unhinged may be aimed at the Trump White House, but as one tweet put it, full props for the title for her autobiography. Online commenters competed to convey the degree to which they couldn't care less. I can't wait to not read this. I will be first in line to not buy this book. You lost me at Omarosa. But it wasn't lost on Omarosa that teasing out nuggets about her White House experience on Celebrity Big Brother could stoke interest.
Like, I was haunted by tweets every single day. Like, hey, no, it's gonna not be okay. It's not. Would you vote for him again? God, no.
I feel like I just got freed off of a plantation.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Remember Omarosa's immortal words?
Every detractor will have to bow down to President Trump.
She may have to bow a lot after Unhinged is unveiled, though the president seems proud when his detractors hang unhinged on him.
He's totally unhinged.
Jeannie Mo, CNN.
And now for Omarosa railing against Trump 2.0. In this video recorded just yesterday, she shares specific stories about then President Trump, who she had an intimate working relationship with. This is the man who was given the keys to drive the White House while impaired and unhinged.
When we were in the boardroom for The Apprentice, Donald could come up with these very complicated figures. He could stand there and recall all of the details of a deal, and he would share those with us. And as time went on, particularly when I observed him in the first year when we were in the White House, Donald was unable to recall basic figures. He would forget the name of his cabinet members. He would forget key details of policy issues that we were talking about as we were preparing for him to go out on stage. This was after he was briefed just moments before. That was in 2018. Let's talk about what we're observing right now in 2024. The reason Donald Trump is canceling these interviews is that when he starts to stumble, he starts to pivot. He wants to talk about you. He'll start attacking you, Laura, instead of talking about policy issues because he can't recall what they are. He cannot repeat consistently his position on key issues like the economy, like crime, or like immigration that are key issues to voters. And that's what you're seeing in his decline right now.
Let's be real for a second. Omarosa is still successfully gaming the media and building her brand with appearances like this. People like her and Michael Cohen once sold their souls to Trump, and now they have carved out cottage industries with appearances slamming the idol they once worshipped. But I do not doubt their stories, and I don't mind holding my nose a little while sharing them. That's because Donald Trump's lies travel faster and deeper than the truth, and his credibility, sanity, and fitness for office must be questioned with every opportunity, because it's a very thin slice of undecided voters who will ultimately decide the election, and they're watching, they're listening. With less than 3 weeks to go, it's all hands on deck to denounce and defeat the mega menace.
They struggle with the truth and they construct their own reality, deceiving the American people.